As you saw from that intro video, we're going to be talking about Cinestill 800T. Now, Cinestill 800T is known to be a night photographer's dream. It's mostly used in night photography, taking those sexy gas station pictures, and you don't really see a lot of people using it out in the day. So let's just discuss what Cinestill 800T is. 800 stands for the speed of the film, and T stands for tungsten balance. This film was originally produced by Kodak as Vision 3 500T, 500 being the speed of the film, and T being stands for tungsten. So T standing for tungsten means that it's balanced for indoor tungsten lighting use. If you were to take a photo outside with natural light, it will actually have a blue shift in your photos because this film is balanced for tungsten light. So if you were to print in a dark room, you'll get blue photos. But thankfully for the technology we have today, when we scan our film into these digital pictures, the scanner will take the blue shift and correct it back to a neutral color. So when you use this film outdoors, you'll wind up having neutral colors rather than a blue shift. Now, a lot of people say you can't use this film unless you use an orange filter. They are correct if you're using a dark room. But if you're digitally scanning your photos, you don't need an orange filter. And what winds up happening is if you use an orange filter, you'll actually get more saturated red colors in your photo. So it's better just to keep it off and let the scanner digitally correct the photos. And I hope that brings peace of mind to people who don't want to try this film because they have to get an orange filter, or they're scared it's not going to look good in the daylight because all they see is photographers using this at night and with gas stations and neon lights. So I'm here to show you, or you already see it in the intro video, that this does work outside, indoors, natural light. It's just a great film stock overall, and it was used in motion pictures, so it has a good latitude, and it works in different environments because that's what a movie producer would want. So have fun with this film and shoot it how it was meant to be shot everywhere. Now, for what you saw, I rated this film at 500 instead of box speed 800. And I just wanted to see how the photos would come out, how the colors were rendered in 500 rather than 800. And I mainly did this to match the Kodak Vision 3 original stock of film. And also online I saw a lot of people who used this not in night photography. They were getting like muddy photos if they used 800 as their speed. So I chose 500. I think they came out well. You saw from the intro videos, they came out well. And we're also going to go look at some photos and see how they came out. I found this film to have fine grain and also it was pretty sharp. And I used over here I used one of my favorite cameras, a Minolta X700, which you saw in the intro video. And I thought it was a great pair to have this camera with the film. I also used my light meter on my phone, so it's just like an app, and I set that to 500, and I just metered everything manually with the phone rather than letting the camera decide. So now let's look at some pictures that may have been in the intro video and some pictures that weren't, and we'll just look at how they came out, and I'll discuss some of the situations we were in to take those photos. To start off this list, I want to show you this photo that came out really good. It is a shot that was shot with natural light in an unlit room. And you can see how well the colors came out and how sharp the film is in this photo. And this photo was also taken on a tripod because of the slow shutter speed for being indoors. Now this photo was taken outside. And as you can see, there was no blue shift. And because of the color correction used by the scanner, you got these natural colors. And the highlights are just a little blown out, which can either be due to the high contrast of the scene or the lower rated speed that I was using when I was shooting. Now I'm going to show you some photos that I took fully outside, and we're just going to go through them and take a look at them. So as you can see, there's no color shifts and the film has rendered beautiful colors. The halation can be seen on the fence and the house due to the whites. So let me just go over what halation is since we're now talking about it and seeing what it looks like. Halation is when light hits the film, and usually in a motion picture film they have a remjet layer and that blocks the light from hitting the back of the camera. But without this remjet layer, which this Cinestill has, they do not have the remjet layer, it's removed. So the light winds up hitting the film going past the film, hitting the back of the camera, and bouncing back towards the film, which creates these like blooming highlights in the film. So that's just what halation is, and if you like it, it's something that this film's pretty good at, and if you don't like it, you could avoid it by metering correctly and setting up the scene correctly. Like in these photos, there's really not much halation to be seen, so you can kind of get around it, and it's not as bad as people say. These two photos were shot indoors. This is the condition where Cinestill is advertised to be used in. It's indoors, it's artificial lighting, and we can see great colors. We see no halations in these photos. And just a reminder, I was metering for 500 rather than 800, and I feel like these photos came out less muddy looking than stuff I've seen online. And then this photo was specifically shot in a very dim lighting condition indoors, which Cinestill shines the best. But also, as a reminder again, it was metered for 500 rather than 800, so I used a tripod and everything came out pretty good. Now this photo I experimented with the flash, so this is a photo using flash, and you can notice that the halation, you can see that on the flash bounce off the metal bracket on the railing in the background. And other than that, I think the photo came out great and great colors. Now these series of photos were taken indoors but using natural light. So even though it's indoors, we're using natural light, so you're supposed to see the blue shift, but the scanner corrected for that, and we see great colors once again. It's sharp, it looks good, and none of it looks muddy. And also just to note, there is slight halation found on the white areas of the shirt, but it's slight, and I think it gives it like a dreamy vibe. I don't know if this halation could have been mitigated just by shooting at 800 rather than 500, but to me, the halation, it's small, it doesn't really affect much, and it does give that dreamy look. Overall, you can see that the film worked indoors as well as outdoors, and I felt like the film looked beautiful outdoors, and I do recommend shooting this outdoors during the day. I know it's advertised as a night photography film stock, but I think it does great with portrait shots. I feel like it works well outdoors. You don't need a filter like people say. You just digitally scan it, and the scanner will correct for that color shift. This film is so good, it shouldn't be restricted to night photography and gas stations. It really should be used outside. This is a motion picture film that makes everything look beautiful, and I would definitely suggest using it outside. I do want to highlight this. This is a photo book from Retro Film Project. It's a community zine. This one focused on 800T, and I was selected, and it printed well in this photo book. But a lot of the shots in this photo book people used as night photography. They used for neon lights, and that's what the film is known best for. But like I said, use it outdoors and you'll have a great fun time with it. I know this video is shorter than you used to, but I just wanted to highlight how much I like this film and how much more I'll be using it during this summer, and take tons more portrait shots with it. And I'm also going to try out 400D, so stay tuned for that video. And other than that, thanks for watching and have a good day.